Ooh,
Hi, Paul. We're live. Okay. Greetings, everyone. This is Master Nigel. Welcome to Change Angel Activation, where we introduce you to some extraordinary change angels who are here on the planet now, making a massive beneficial difference to people and angels. Where we are introducing you to people or change angels who have advanced information, technologies, practices, modalities that when we interact with people, it causes the people to experience a massive activation that causes their consciousness, abilities, awareness to increase. And so in today's video, I would like to introduce you to a very special change angel. His name is Angel Paul Marwood. And Paul has some very advanced technology that he and his wife has been delivering, and it makes a massive difference. So that's why I want to introduce you to him. But I won't say too much, except to say that he will be appearing at the next Change Angel Activation Conference in October 10th, 11th, and 12th, where he'll be presenting his work to the other change angels who are there. And you can get to meet him in person. So I'm inviting you to do that. But in this video, he's going to give us a sample of who he is, his essence, his gifts, his mission, his vision for us, and then he's going to talk to us about how he's going to fulfill his mission and his vision by sharing his work and his practices and his modality and maybe his schedule, and maybe he will give us a sample of something. And if you'd like to connect with Paul directly, you can click on the link that we're going to provide you with, where you can just contact him and get to know him, at least get to know him before the conference, so that when you do come to the conference and you meet him in person, you'll already have a connection and you'll be able to exchange activation with him. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome you all to Paul Marwood, Angel Paul Marwood. How are you, Paul?
I'm absolutely wonderful, and pleasure to talk with you again, Nigel, and the wonderful audience out there.
Thank you. Well, my intention in these interviews is to kind of introduce your angel essence first. And I have a series of questions that is intended to bring that out. But if you want to improvise on it, you feel free. So my first question is, I know that you're an angel and you're a spiritual being having a human kind of experience. And so when angels arrive on planet Earth, we usually take on some role or an archetype that allows us to express ourselves at our finest and our best. So what role, archetype, or plural, do you think best describes you?
Great question, Nigel. I would say probably a change angel, a spiritual teacher, and in some respects a wizard. So there's probably those three archetypes would, I think, cover most of it in a nutshell. The change angel to bring information forward and be a wonderful part of the many making the change, the spiritual teacher as part of being a guide, and the wizard of bringing this new information forward, which may seem magical, but once you understand it, it is just normal.
Awesome. And then, so in this lifetime, what is your mission and purpose here? Why did you incarnate this time?
I think my purpose is really to be a part of the team of many people here to bring about this acceleration of this change of where we're going. Most of you know that we're going through an ascension process, and so there are many of us at this ground level that could be termed as change angels that are bringing through the change to assist and guide all of us, myself included, in this process to help us to move to a more connected life. A connected life, what I mean by that is that we are more connected to the love of who we are, the love of everything that's around us. There is so much more around us than we see with our five senses, and we're part of doing that to help everyone start to realize that and integrate that into our lives, which then makes life so much better.
Very good. So a lot of the mission is about allowing us to experience the more of life that is here already. Um, Now, I know that in order to pull this off, Paul, you're going to have to be an extraordinary being, and so you're probably imbued with many spiritual gifts and abilities that most people would think as extraordinary, but I know that part of your mission is to make that a normal thing. So, can you share with us some of your skills, gifts, abilities that you just seem to be born with?
With pleasure. You know, in essence, most of my gifts have happened in the last sort of 3 to 5 years. So for those of you out there that haven't really felt you're in touch with your gifts, believe me, there is no, it doesn't, you don't have to be born with them, because you always had them. You just need to wake up to them, so to speak. For myself, you know, my primary psychic type gift would be classed as clairsentience, that knowingness. So as I connect to my guides, my soul, the beings that are here in support of us, it's that connection of knowingness. So we know information all of a sudden. So you don't have to necessarily open a book. It doesn't quite work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Also, clairvoyance. You know, so much work that I've been doing recently with the angels, and I don't explain why, but the clairvoyance aspect has suddenly opened up. So I get to see the angels coming forth in, for example, the angelic toning that we do, and, you know, to be able to see the love that the angels emanate and the energies flowing between people in that loving form. So clairsentience, clairvoyance, but also other aspects in the human form, you know, openness, compassion, wisdom, eagerness to learn, share, and clear speaking, so that as more information flows into me, I can share it with you and that beautiful audience out there in a grounded, practical way.
Beautiful, Paul. Beautiful. We're already feeling your gifts, especially the gift of clarity that you're bringing in your speech. Um, Now, I think the thing that I'm really interested in, and I would like you to convey to our audience, is the impact. We know you've got gifts. We know you have some tools and practices that you're going to share in a minute, and you have a mission and a vehicle that can deliver it. But what is the impact when you're done and when you're successful and you're about to go back to base? How will you leave the earth, and what will that be? What will the experience be? What will the abilities and things will you have activated in people before you go back to base?
Wonderful question, Nigel. You know, I feel that for most of us on this planet at this point in time, the reason I use the word most of us, because that's probably relatively true. We're not aware of how much there is around us, and the beauty of what really is that seeing how that we live in a practical world and a physical world, but also there is this beautiful energetic world which is so much more, and the connections and the love and how everything is actually connected. And so part of my purpose in answering your question is really, before I finish my journey on this planet, so to speak, is to be providing in my role, bringing beautiful information through from the beings that have been there, done that. They've experienced all of this already, this ascension process we're going through, to assist us all in being, in very simple, practical ways, more connected to who we are in our divine I am presence, our essence, see and connect to our guides, the angels that are around us, the benevolent beings that are here in support of us, so that our life takes on this whole new transformation. You know, we're living life from the heart, from a place of love, not from a place of fear. Life is unlimited, and we start to see the limitlessness in the universe, and all that's here, right around us, right here, right now. It's not just us, we're not all separate, to see this connection and everything that is. So that would be my purpose, to share that message and be a guide and just open as many people up to this as possible, to allow them to connect to more and live a truly exceptional life, to thrive in the brilliance of their heart and soul and all that is around them.
Oh, that is so awesome, Paul. That vision of us being activated and seeing more and being aware of what and who else is here. That is so powerful. So now the question everyone's on mind, that's really beautiful vision, but how are you going to do that? What's your vehicle for doing that? You know, do you have a business? What's the framework that allows you to unleash this activation on the planet?
Great question, Nigel. Really, the vehicle is my wife and I, my wife Holly Hawkins Marwood and myself, have this company called Soul Genesis, and part of Soul Genesis is a global channel, delivering divine intelligence, seminars, training programs, and guidance to people that are active truth seekers, both individual and in groups, on a mass scale. And Soul Genesis really, my wife and I, are guides to people to reveal the brilliance, in our heart and soul, so that we can then connect to more and live an elevated life experience. And using the tools like we have, the video, the emails, the media, the social media, to be able to bring forth and connect in presentations in so many wonderful ways this information that's been brought forward and taught to us. This is not what comes through from Paul. It's what's Paul is simply a channel in this process to bring this beautiful information, this benevolent, loving information, guidance, as you will, on how we can move forward in the most profound ways in our lives and accelerate people in this ascension process to move to the fifth dimension and beyond, and really live an extraordinary and exceptionally life that's right here, right on the edge of where we're at now.
Awesome, Paul. Awesome. So do you do this in multiple modalities? Like what are the different techniques? I heard you mention toning. Can you tell us the different ways that you deliver these gifts and allow the activation to occur in people?
With pleasure, Nigel. The information flows forward into Holly and myself through channeling methods, and an example, for example, the High Council of Orion is some beings that my lovely wife Holly, who does so much channeling information associated with ascension and personal transformation. So that information comes forward in practical ways that allows people to be able to either listen to or read this guidance, this information. And so that's really in a written type form or an audible form that we can easily absorb and understand. And as I say, this information is beautiful, loving information in practical, simple steps that allow us to integrate into our lives to move forward. There's other things like the activations. The beautiful beings have been teaching us multidimensional activations, which are really simply something that allows our acceleration in a particular way. What I mean by that is, for a person where we live our life, we seek so many external influences or so many answers from external realms, whereas where we're moving to is really finding the answers from within. So these activations help us start to connect to our true divine essence, to gain that knowledge, understand the truth from within rather than trying to look for external truths, things to assist us in connecting more to the information systems that are out there that have always been there, but you and I tend to be closed off to that, and so this is part of opening up to more. People use the word unity consciousness. Part of that definition is us being able to connect into the wisdom and the knowledge of all that are on this planet, and to be able to tap into this ultimate library, which can be done through many ways. And an example of that could be the Akashic Records. Simply,
yes. Tell us a little bit about that. Just give us a... Yes, many people have never heard of the Akashic Record. It sounds like something out of space. Break it down to us, man.
With pleasure. Most people don't know the understanding of the word Akashic Records or what they are. If you're a person that believes in multiple lifetimes, so your soul is infinite and your soul is simply just in this body for a little period of time on one of its journeys, and then it might go back to a higher dimensional realm, and then when it wants to, it then makes new choices and comes back down to earth and has more experiences. So this earth is really a schoolhouse for the soul. But all of these experiences and knowledge are all stored. They're not lost. So they're stored in this place called the Akashic field. So if you can imagine how wise each of us are at the end of this lifetime, can you imagine if we can access the wisdom of 100 or 1,000 lifetimes, the wisdom of our soul? So the Akashic Records is simply a beautiful tool that we can all do now. It's not for the special spiritually evolved beings, it's for all of us. We can access these Akashic Records and tap into the wisdom of our soul, of all of the lessons that we've learned in all of our lifetimes. And also too, how that helps us is we might be affected by something in this lifetime. Say for example, we're afraid of water, and there's nothing in this lifetime that would allow us to realize, why would I be afraid of water? But you may have had a past life where something tragic happened that was related to water. Now suddenly you tap into your Akashic Records, you understand exactly what happened in that lifetime, understand the emotion and energy that's tied around that event, and then understand why it makes you feel so nervous about water in this lifetime. And then what's even more important is being in the energy of the records helps you heal from that, so that you're still aware of it, but it doesn't have that stranglehold on you that it would normally have had before. So it's a tool that we can all use to evolve and learn more about ourselves and the infiniteness of who we are.
That is so beautiful. So that's just one of the tools and modalities that you can offer both angels and individuals who are seeking to expand their and activate their abilities.
Yeah.
So I know you're going to be at the Change Angel Activation Conference. What can people look forward to? Like, why should they come and see you, Paul? What are they going to miss out if they don't come and see you?
Great question. What I would love to share in this beautiful Change Angel Conference is some of this information. I'd like to give an example for everyone of the universal sphere, for example. It's something that's been taught to us that's really profound. It's something that's really simple to do. It's something that kind of breaks down. In the world we live in now, there's so many limitations or rules. This is one of those things that has almost no limitations. So there's beautiful information there that I'd love to share with people and give everyone an example of this universal sphere. Also, too, during my aspect of this conference is to be able to provide information about these multi-dimensional activations that have been taught to my lovely wife and myself and others to move us forward on our soul's journey, accelerate us to be able to experience the more that's out there and shift our lives in the beautiful, profound ways. And also share some information about the new perspectives and teachings that have been taught to Holly and I through the channelings that we do to assist us all to move forward in this place of ascension, so that we ourselves can become more connected to our divine I Am presence and live in this place of greater love and connectedness to ourselves primarily, and then to all of those around us and everything, ultimately everything around us. So I'll be sharing all that information at this amazing conference in the 10th, 11th, and 12th of October.
Thank you, Paul. That was beautiful, man. So I know that we're going to have lots of different types of angels sharing different gifts, and I know that part of your intention is to expand your gifts around the world. And so one of the things we expect is that there'll be collaboration between angels of different modalities. So if you were to kind of put out a request to other change angels who are out there, who would be your ideal collaboration partners?
I think in this point in time, in the moving forward of this information on the planet, is for my wife and I, it's really a connection to more people out there that can spread this information and spread this knowledge. There's ultimately, this is beautiful, benevolent, loving information that can help so many people. So part of what our mission is at this point in time is to connect to more people that can
12 o'clock.
Accelerate that information out to allow the information to be seen and heard and read by more people. Then that allows those individual people to make the decision themselves, whether that information resonates with them or not. And it's fine either way. So it's getting the information out and really just collaboration and co-creation with this information and bringing it forward, teaching more people to be able to do these activations, people coming forward and wanting to learn it as practitioners, and then allowing them to go out into their world and share this information and make a difference to more and more people. It's the co-creation and collaboration of the change angels.
Yes, in fact, just to build on that, Paul, what I do know is that I know that you already have a network of people that you're serving,
Yes.
and each change angel that's coming is going to have a network of people they're already serving, and what I'm expecting is that each of the angels that are there will want to have your work reach the people they're serving. So I see a lot of cross pollination and cross-serving and cross-collaboration, especially when your gifts are unique. We're serving the same purposes, increasing the activation, but what happens when we combine our modalities together by sharing each other with each other's network? So that's one of the things I see for you, and I know that I heard you say that you'd like people to help spread your message, and I know there's a change angel out there, who I know her name, but I won't say, just in case there are others, who is the angel of expansion and communication. So Paul would like to meet you. So please register now, and so that Paul's work can be spread and more other angels can meet you. So if you are out there and you're a change angel and you know that Paul's work will resonate with you, and you know a network or a gathering of people where if they receive this kind of blessing, this kind of teaching, this kind of new information, their world would expand and they would experience the vision that Paul spoke about, then please contact Paul directly if you'd like, or join us here on the Change Angel Activation Network, or even better, Paul, what do you think?
Come to the conference.
Exactly. So, Paul, have you got a sample that you want to offer? In terms of interviewing and promoting the Change Angels, I've made arrangements for them to offer some of their services at discounted prices so that we can get the experience, make it easy for you to have the experience. So Paul, do you have an offer that you'd like to offer our audience so they can get an early taste of you and at some reasonable rate? Go ahead, Paul, do your thing.
Most certainly. What we'd love to offer as part of this is a 30% reduction in the costs for anyone that wants to receive an activation. So, the activations are all $111, and so you can get a reduction in the price of an activation, and that allows you to easily experience and feel the difference that these things can make, these activations can make to your life, but also to a 30% reduction in the cost of the Soul Genesis program that my lovely wife and I offer, which is a program has many and multiple steps to it that assists. Rather than just receiving a single activation, it's a combination of activations, the Akashic record readings, guidance, to assist all of us, but in this case individually, to move forward in profound ways in our lives. So that's what I would love to offer the beautiful audience.
Well, I will be providing a link on this page or on our Change Angel Activation site that allows people to click and get this special offer, and also that link will connect you to Paul's website and you can get in touch with him. My request is that you actually get to know Paul before the conference so that you can form the relationship before we get to the conference, so that when we're at the conference we can actually focus on the intention of it, which is to raise our own level of activation, expand our capacity to impact each other, and have relationships already formed where we want to do joint ventures and joint collaborations on projects that make a big impact on the planet. So I hope you enjoyed meeting Paul. He's a wonderful example of an angel at work, and his wife is beautiful, and as you can see from the background, they are clear space and they're living their purpose. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Paul, before we close this interview?
I would just love to wish everyone thank you for taking the time to listen to what Nigel and I have to share, and we'd love to see you at the conference. And I wish you a lot of love and a beautiful, special, connected, beautiful, loving day.
Well, thank you, Paul, and I look forward to seeing you. And I invite everyone to connect with you. Click on the link that we provide, and we'll see you at the conference. Thank you.
See you at the conference.
Thank you. Bye.